Hey guys, welcome back. We're doing lesson 29 for Wit and Wisdom. So our focus question is, how does William use the powerful force of the wind? Our content framing question is, what does a deeper exploration of science versus magic reveal in the boy who harnessed the wind? So in this lesson, we're going to begin by learning the definition of magic in science in preparation for our discussion with the role that magic and science play in the boy who harnessed the wind. All right, so we are going to look at this screen up here. It says, read page 7. For all its power over dancers and flying things, magic could not bring the rain. Well, let's read page 7 too, just to make sure that everything is listed off of that page. For all its power over dancers and flying things, magic could not bring the rain. Without water, the sun rose angry each morning and scorched the fields, turning the maize into dust. Without food, Malawi began to starve. So let's think about that word magic. What do you think magic means here? What do you think? Magic. Do you think it's like a control over something? Let's see. Let's read it here. Magic means mysterious control of physical forces or events through special actions or words. So it's the control over something. Okay, so let's look at page 11. He found science books filled with brilliant pictures. So let's look at page 11. Page 11 says, he found science books filled with brilliant pictures. With his English dictionary close by, William put together how engines moved those big trucks and how radios pulled their music from the sky. But the greatest picture of all was a machine taller than the tallest tree with blades like a fan. So he found science books filled with brilliant pictures. What does science mean there? What do you think? Do you think science means that it's a studying and learning about things out in the world, out in nature? It's a method of studying and learning about things in nature. Good. So science versus magic. So our focus question, how does William use the powerful force of the wind? Our content framing question, what does a deeper exploration of science versus magic reveal in the boy who harnessed the wind? And do you think science or magic was more important to William? Do you think? What do you think? So, example. What was more important here, magic or science? Tinkerbell and Elsa. What do you think was more important to them, magic or science? Magic, right? Tinkerbell, all she had to do was wave her wand, and Elsa, she had to use her hands with the power, right? Okay. And science, Jane Goodall, would she have used magic? No, because she was out studying the chimps, correct? So she was using science. So it depends on who we ask what is more important. So now you think about it. I want you to predict what you think. Which is important, science or magic? Think about that and write your answer in your journal. Okay. So we're going to record some evidence, magic or science. So we're going to look at the pages in our book and we're going to record evidence of this on our T-chart. And notice it's a T-chart because it looks like a T. All right. So let's look at page 11. I'm going to reread this here for a second. It says, he found science books filled with brilliant pictures. With his English dictionary close by, William put together how engines moved those big trucks and how radios pulled their music from the sky. But the greatest picture of all was a machine taller than the tallest trees with blades like a fan. A giant pinwheel? Something to catch magic? Slowly, he built the sentence. Windmills can produce electricity and pump water. Okay, so how did William learn to make the windmill? What did he do? It said he read science books. He read science books by using a dictionary so he could understand what it was saying, correct? He even saw pictures of windmills in the books that caught his interest. But he kept learning and he kept reading about what windmills could do. And windmills, we know, can make electricity and water. Okay, so I'm going to add a couple sentences up here on our chart. So on magic over here, I'm going to put could not bring the rain. Magic could not bring the rain, okay? And on the science side, I'm going to put William read science. All right, so now what I'm going to do is we're going to look and listen for other instances in which magic and science are mentioned in the text, okay? So let's listen. I'm going to read page 4. Page 4. His grandpa's tales of magic also whispered in the pitch black of his room. Witch planes passed through the window while ghost dancers twirled around the room as if 100 men were inside their bodies. So what do you think there? You could say that on that page is Grandpa's tales of magic also whispered. In the pitch black of his room. Okay. So let's look at another one. Let's look at page 6. Let's see if it's magic or science. At dawn in the fields, William scanned the maize rows for magical beans, then wondered as a truck rumbled past, how does its engine make it go? Pay attention where you throw that hoe, his father shouted. You'll cut off your foot. So what do you think? Magic or science? It's magic, right? Because he was scanning the rows for magical beans. Great. All right. Let's look at page 7. Page 7 says, for all its power over dancers and flying things, magic could not bring the rain. Without water, the sun rose angry each morning and scorched the fields, turning the maize into dust. And without food, Malawi began to starve. Well, guess what? I've already got that one up there. That magic could not bring the rain. All right, let's look at our next one. Page 11. Found science books filled with brilliant pictures. With his English dictionary close by, William put together how engines moved those big trucks and how radios pulled their music from the sky. But the greatest picture of all was a machine taller than the tallest tree with blades like a fan. A giant pinwheel, something to catch magic. Slowly he built the sentence, windmills can produce electricity and pump water. So is that magic or science? That would be science. He found science books. He read the science books so he could find the information he needed. Good. All right, and our last page, page 27. And that was the strongest magic of all. Wow. Okay. So the strongest magic of all will go under magic. So they talked a lot about magic in this book, didn't they? They sure did. Now think about it. In this lesson, is science or magic more important to William? Think about it. What do you think? I want you to write in your journals an answer to that question. Is science or magic more important to William? Why? Okay. Now I'm going to pose that question, but I'm not going to answer it because I want to see what you come up with on this one, okay? I know what I think, but I want you to use what we've got up here in the chart. I want you to think about the story that we've read, and I want you to think hard. Science or magic more important? Okay, so let's move on. All right, so this is the part you're writing in your journal. Is science or magic more important? So we're not doing the Socratic seminar. This is your Socratic seminar where you're responding in your journal, okay? All right, so now we are going to create our focusing task 5, part 1. So we are going to be using our handouts again, okay? So let me get my handouts here. It says, Echo read part 1 of the assessment. So part 1 of the assessment, I'm going to show you. It says, plan a scene to act out the moment on pages 21 to 22 when William's windmill starts to work. Write sentences that describe what William saw, felt, and heard, and how he felt in terms of his emotions using evidence from the text. Be sure to use all the following in your sentences. Sensory and feeling words, including adjectives to describe what the wind was like and how William felt. Okay, now it says you're going to orally rehearse your sentences and then you're going to complete it, meaning you're going to write it, okay? You can use our handout 28A. Remember, we did this yesterday in our lesson about what did William see, hear, and feel during that scene? How did he feel in terms of his emotions during that scene? And I will reread those 2 pages for you so you can hear them again. Like always it came, first a breeze, then a gusting gale. The tower swayed and the blade spun around. That way you can see his face. All right, so I hope you wrote sentences yesterday to describe how William felt during the scene. How did he, when he saw the wind, how did he feel? When he heard the wind, how did he feel? He felt the wind doing what? What was his feeling of emotions at that point in time? So think about that, all right? Now, make sure when you're writing and creating this task, you use your capital letters and your punctuation, and you've got your finger spaces in it. And I can't wait to read what you write about the experience that William felt during this scene. Okay, let's move on. So our content framing question, what does a deeper exploration of science versus magic reveal in The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind? And after you wrote in your journal, did your opinion change for science or magic? I'd be curious to find out. All right, fluency homework. Remember, practice that fluency. It's very important that you practice it. Let me bring it up. And here it is, The Wind by James Reeves. I can get through a doorway without any key and strip the leaves from the great tree. I can drive storm clouds and shake tall towers, or steal through a garden and not wake the flowers. Seas I can move and ships I can sink. I can carry a housetop or the scent of a pink. When I'm angry, I can rave and riot. And when I am spent, I lie quiet as quiet. So, what clues normally help us find the meaning to unknown words in a text? Do you think by using the words around the word for clues, or using the pictures help us find clues, or maybe even breaking down the word, right? Okay, well, let's focus on the word scanned. And so we're going to look at page 5 and 6 for that word scanned. It says, at dawn in the fields, William scanned the maize rows for magical beings, then wondered as a truck rumbled past. How does its engine make it go? Pay attention where you throw that hoe, his father shouted. You'll cut off your foot. So what's going on in this text? What's William doing? Well, he's working with the maize, isn't he? He's looking at the maize rows and trying to see magical beings. He's trying to figure out what? He's trying to figure out how that truck is moving. So what does this tell us? That William is looking. He's looking at something. So let's put look in that sentence for the word scanned, and let's see if it makes sense. At dawn in the fields, William looked the maize rows for magical beings, then wondered as a truck rumbled past. How does its engine make it go? It does make sense, doesn't it? Because he's looking the maze rows over for those magical beings. Great. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so now we're going to look at 5 and 6, and we're going to focus on the word rumbled. Rumbled. Let's see here. All right, I'm going to read the same page again. At dawn in the fields, William scanned the maze rows for magical beans, then wondered as a truck rumbled past. How does its engine make it go? So what's the truck doing? It's going past the field, isn't it? So what do you think the word rumbled could mean there? What do you think? Do you think maybe going, moving on? What could we substitute for that word rumbled? Well, if I go and put going in place of rumbled, see if it makes sense. William scanned the maze rows for magical beans, then wondered as a truck going past, how does its engine make it go? Yes, rumbled means to go. All right. Let's move on. All right, my friends, that is the end of this lesson. Make sure that you turn in your writing for this lesson because that's the assignment, all right? And I will see you back here tomorrow. Bye, guys.